Hello, everybody. How are we doing? I'm just setting up my laptop over here as well as everything else. So I can see everything that's going on. Hello, everybody. How are we doing? I'm just trying to persuade my laptop to get up to speed, which it isn't right now. All right. Okay, we're looking good. How are we doing, everybody? We've got 5 people here already. That's a good start. And we have Ray Hunt who's saying hello. Hello, Ray. And just Bob, my good buddy Bob. How you doing, mate? Hope you're doing well. It was good to see you on Johnny's show the other night, actually. That was very cool. And your song is epic, mate. Totally. So that's where we are. And my good mate, Mike, neighbor at MJN Studios, is here as well. Good to see you, buddy. He says, hey, everyone. Only 6 people in the room so far, but that's okay. We will gather a few more people, hopefully, as we go. Hopefully, most people will be remembering that this is a regular thing. So there we go. And John says, there you are. I was just about to go back to my Sunday afternoon nap. And he says, just kidding. Yeah, thanks for that. The other thing I need to do is I need to let someone know that I'm live. There we go. There we go. Now everybody should know. So how's everyone's week been since I last saw you all? And Frank Wagner is here. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Checking how things are looking over there on my other screen. Actually, I don't know how quality is for you guys, but I apologize if picture and sound quality are rubbish. We are experiencing a gale force 8 wind at the moment, which may well be playing havoc with everything. So I'm sure it's all very, very pixelated and freezing and all that kind of thing. So I am sorry about that. So picture and audio quality might be worse than usual. And if that's kind of what's happening, then please let me know in the chat, and maybe we will have to pull the plug on tonight and maybe reschedule for next weekend. Do a longer stream next weekend, maybe. Kind of all depends. John says all looking good in CA. Well, that's good to hear. It's as good as we're going to get for kind of just under 1 meg per second upload speed. Not a lot I can do about that. Just Bob says sound is perfect. Glitchy video, not bad though. Yeah, it's just the way it is with my internet here. My upload speed is pathetic. Download is very good. I measured my download speed the other night actually, and I'm getting about 31 megs per second, which is really cool. It's just the upload speed that sucks. And unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about that. Frank says, looking good in Ohio. Yeah, I just wish it was looking that good here, actually, in Scotland. But it's not, and there's not a whole lot I can do about that. Sorry, guys. So we got 10 people here. The lucky 10. And Bob says, carry on. That's cool. Alrighty, so here we are, 29th of January, 2018. Good grief, we have raced through the month of January. And Bobby Booth is here. He says, hello. Good to see you, Bobby. Yeah, we've raced through January, and all of a sudden, we're almost on the cusp of February, which is which is crazy. It hardly seems like just a couple of days ago that it was like Christmas and all of that. And so we've hit the ground running here. I've kind of been mentioning off and on over the last few weeks that I'm launching something at the start of February, which is true. I am. We're just basically getting the final bits and pieces done so we can get this thing launched. I am launching a VIP subscription membership to Jonny Lipsham Studios. And I'm going to explain what you're going to get. Sorry, I've got this irritating itch on my lip. I can't get rid of it. So I'm going to explain to you guys kind of what you're going to get and how much that's going to be and all that kind of stuff. And it's kind of going to be something that I will be learning at doing as we grow, as we go with it. You know, as we get into it, there'll be things that, you know, I will want to improve, that you will want to see improved. And my view is that with this VIP thing, is that, you know, if we talk to each other, if you guys are talking to me about things that you would like to see improved or new features, things that you'd like to see that I'm currently not doing, then, you know, we can look at those kind of things, and I can look at the things that you think I need to do better at, and I can work on those and do better. And also we can look at some of the other things that you think, hey, this would actually be cool if we could try this. So yeah, so that's kind of where we're going with that. And Sean Aaron is here. Good to see you, Sean Aaron, and I'm very glad that you've found the place. That's very cool. Chris says audio and video are fine here in California. Excellent. It's just here in Scotland it's not so good. I've got the feed running over on my other little laptop over here, which admittedly is a slow laptop. So literally I've shut everything down. So the only thing that is running is YouTube. And I'm doing that with the hope that this will be all good. Man, my lip is irritating me. Sorry, guys. So yeah, so the VIP thing. So I'm going to take you through a little bit of what you're going to get as a VIP. I can find the correct thing that will make sure that I remember everything. So I'm going to share my screen in just a second. Let's just go share screen. There we go. Now get me off there. All right. So hopefully you guys are very much interested in this. I'm going to be promoting it more and more over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to be getting videos out there. I'm going to be talking about it a lot more over the course of the next few days, because we want to launch this as soon as possible, ideally at the start of the month. And I have my good friend, the legend who is known as The Rocker, also known as Mr. Rich Westfall, is helping me develop this in collaboration with Ian over at Data Computing Services here in Edinburgh, who is hosting my website now. I used to be hosting my website with a company run by a friend of mine, and the company was called Planet Vault. Unfortunately, Planet Vault are no more. So Ian at Data Computing Services is hosting the website now. So we're working with him to kind of get this going. So here's what you're going to get for £12 per month. You will get a monthly Google Hangout coaching call, which will be a little bit like these live streams, except not like these live streams. These live streams are for everybody. The monthly Google Hangout coaching call will be just for VIP subscribers. And the idea behind those is that we will go through specific issues that you guys are having with mixing, mastering, recording, writing your songs, arranging. I can go into a lot more detail on arranging, for, you know, arranging strings, arranging horns, arranging backing vocals and making all of those sound really, really sweet and good with your song. So all of that kind of stuff is what will go into these coaching calls. We'll have a range of subjects that we can go through. And then part of it will be kind of fed by your input with things that you are dealing with. And also you will be able to get a one-to-one Skype session if and when you need them, to deal with, maybe something a bit more specific that you want just one-to-one instruction on. We can do that, and you'll get that. Also, you'll get a mix critique session, and this will be done via a live stream as well. And the way it will work is it will work on a first-come, first-served basis. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to get your mixes in pretty quickly by the required date, which we'll discuss as we go. And then we'll have a live stream event, and basically we'll deal with 5 mixes at a time. And everybody will get to hear your mix who's on the live stream. And it's going to be a private live stream again, so it's just going to be just for you guys. There will be a private link that you guys can use to get access to that live stream. And we will go through the aspects of your mix, and I'll talk about things that I've heard that I think you need to maybe look at a little bit more or change, whatever the case might be. Plus, those that are on the live stream as well can pitch in and help out as well. And the whole idea is that we're going to help each other get better at the craft of songwriting, mixing, mastering, recording, all of those kind of things. So it's very much kind of we're all working together when it comes to these mix critiques. There'll be a private Facebook group. And within that private Facebook group, I will also do regular Q&A sessions, just to check in and just kind of see if there's anything that you guys have got a burning question that you want answered. Stick it there. We'll also have a forum, a private forum on my website on jonnylipshamstudios.co.uk. There'll be a private forum there, and there'll be a subject thread there for your burning questions, and you can put them in there, and I will answer them. And if I kind of feel like, hey, it's necessary that maybe we need to address this via Facebook Live, then we'll do that. If I think, hey, actually, this is something that everybody can learn from, then yeah, we'll do that via Facebook Live, or we'll do a special live stream for that. You'll also get discounts on any product that I make, which includes MIDI drums made easy that I've done with Dave Vignola. I'm going to talk to him about that and see what we can do for that. Let's see, and also all my services as well. So if you want mixing, if you want me to mix your songs, if you want me to master your songs, if you want me to play on your songs, you will get discounts on all of those. I'm just going to take a quick look at the chat. You guys are talking amongst yourselves, I think, at the moment. Yeah, it looks like you guys are talking amongst yourselves at the moment. And you'll also get pre-release access to my products as well. So let's say I make a tutorial video on horn arranging, just specifically horn arranging. You guys will get pre-release. You'll be able to purchase that before it's actually available, so that as soon as it is available, you guys will get it first. Oh, and you'll also get a discount. VIP only tutorial videos. Yes, I'll be doing separate videos just for you guys, which will go into more depth on subjects than I cover for content that I create for my YouTube channel. There's one else on there that isn't up there that should be on there. And that's this. Any album that I release or EP that I release, I'm going to give my VIP members access to the stems from every song on those EPs or albums. That includes my most recent past one, belonging to Tomorrow, which was released in 2006. I'm going to make all the stems available to you guys so that you can mix those to your heart's content and have them available for mixing practice. And any future music that I write, again, you'll get access to those stems, and you'll get access to being able to mix those, or even do remixes. If you decide that you want to do a drum and bass remix of one of my songs, you know, I'm game for that. You can certainly do that. So all of that's going to be what you get for £12 per month, which is, yeah, Frank has it right, I think, which is nearly $17 per month. And Chris says, no, he's listening. Oh, that's cool. Thank you. Yeah, $17 per month. And these are all the things that you guys are going to get access to. And it should be loads of fun. It's going to be loads of fun for me creating all this stuff and making all of this stuff available to you guys. I'm really looking forward to getting a good lot of you on board. As I say, it's not available just yet. We're not quite finished putting it all together, but it will be ready very, very soon. Hopefully in the next few days. I'm going to do a launch video, and I might even do a special live stream where we will launch it, and I will show you the Facebook group, and I'll show you the forum and everything else if you're interested. So what's that Woodbeast is saying there? Good point. Woodbeast says, good to see you, Woodbeast. Actually, I don't think I saw you come in. He says, good point. I thought if I send JL £12 of birdseed, I would be in. 12 British pounds. It's our currency, just like you have dollars. And you're not the only country in the world that has dollars, by the way. I love to mock you guys. But yeah, so that's basically what you're going to get for nearly $17 per month. There's going to be it's the way the payment is going to work is it's all going to be managed through PayPal, but you my understanding is that you don't have to have a PayPal account for you to be able to be a part of this. It's all going to be managed by PayPal, and PayPal will take a monthly payment when you sign up. But I don't believe you have to have a PayPal account to make it work. But I will double check that and be sure. I'm going to talk to Rich, and we'll see how that's going to work. I don't even know if Rich is in here or not. He said he was going to come. Yeah, Mike has just said, do we have to have PayPal to pay for this? Yeah, that's what I'm going to double check. I don't think you have to, because it's a monthly payment scheme. But it's all managed, I think, by the back door through PayPal. I think that's how it's going to work. Bobby says, I can afford it if I drop learning to mix. Bobby, I don't want you to feel like you have to choose between either me or learning to mix, okay? You know, I'm not going to be upset if you go off and carry on with learning to mix, because the content that Dave and Pete are offering over there is outstanding. It's world-class stuff. You know, what I'm offering is unique to me. It's you know, yes, you more than likely will have seen these kind of things being offered about by different people. Like Joe Gilder probably offers something similar. And you know, my good buddy Warren over at Produce Like a Pro offers again a very similar package. And I know Graham Cochran at the recordingrevolution.com, he offers, you know, something very, very similar to his members as well. So you know, this list of things that you're going to get is by and largely not unique. What makes it unique is it's me. It's my experiences, my knowledge that that I have had over the last 25 years. That's what you're paying to get access to. You know, you know, all of these things that you're going to get here, they're not generic. It's not like I'm just going to do generic coaching, you know, where we just talk in very general terms. No, I'm going to share with you my methodology, my experience, how I've learned things. That's what we're going to get into. So I hope that that helps kind of allay that fear that you might have. Um, Just Bob says, sounds like a great program. I'm really interested, as well as JG's pivot share until things improve a bit. Can't do either. Want to and will eventually. Well, Bob, you know what? That's cool. Having your interest is great, and having your support is great. So you know that's worth, that's priceless. You know what I mean? Yeah, it'd be great to have you on board as a VIP. Absolutely, and like you say, you know, you will when you can, and that's terrific. That's all I'm asking for. Bobby says, but you and JG helped me a lot. Well, you know what? I appreciate that, Bobby. Really do. Means a lot to me that that's how you guys feel about what I do and what Johnny does, and it's great. But you know, I know that there is only so much money that everybody has. I know how that feels. I mean, uh, you know, my wife had a small accident just recently with the car, and the back end is pretty smashed up, and so we're gonna have to pay for that. Yes, we're insured, but unfortunately, here in the UK, I don't know if it's the same in the United States, but certainly here in the UK, you have to pay what we call excess, which is a charge of just a charge of like £150, just because hey, you're using your insurance. So we have to do that here, and that's a pain. And it's kind of money that we just don't have. So that's happened a couple of times recently, and there's been a whole bunch of other unexpected stuff that So I completely understand that for a lot of you, excuse me, for a lot of you that money is just really tight. Uh, yeah, deductible. Exactly. That's what it is. Deductible. It's a stupid bloody word. Deductible. Ah, just call it what it is. It's a vague addition to the total. And that's what we call VAT. Here's the thing. When my business gets to a certain size, like if I have more than 20,000 customers and I'm turning over more than £50,000 a year in profit, then I have to pay something called VAT. Nobody knows what the letters VAT stands for. It's just something you have to pay, and you have to pay like 20%. And it's a right pain in the butt. But you know what? It all goes into the economy and making sure that we have roads and hospitals and public services that work. And we have some of the finest public services in the world here in the UK. So, albeit they're all a little bit overstretched and getting a little bit creaky around the edges, we have some of the best public services in the world. Particularly our National Health Service is probably the best, what you would call single payer, free at point of use, universal healthcare system in the entire world. It's world class. So VAT and stuff like that, all of that goes into it. National insurance goes into it. Income tax all goes into the same thing. So there you go. But things like excesses, you bang your car up a little bit, but your insurance covers you, but you still have to pay an excess. Deductible. MJN says, what's money? Yeah, exactly. Chris says, apparently I help with spelling as well. Yes, you do. Are you sure you're not a teacher, in your spare time? Just Bob says, shouldn't need one with all the money paid into for protection. Well, yeah, I wish it were like that. Woodby says, car insurance is like health insurance. Deductible helps us to be careful. Well, yeah, you'd think. But, when you are reversing your car and it's very icy and you are complete, it's at night and you cannot see the black ice especially when you're reversing, you cannot see black ice. And your car just slides gently back into someone else's car. You know, nothing you can do. That's what happened to my wife. Anyway, a little bit of a tea break here. Hope you like my new cup, by the way. It is very cool. It's spill proof, it's leak proof, it keeps tea or coffee hot for 12 hours, which is perfect for when I'm working in here. Yes, Mrs. Lipsham is fine, thanks, Chris. Yeah, she's yeah. She was a little shaken up, and she had a little bit of a sore shoulder, but she's fine. No lasting damage except to our bank account. Yeah, that's where the most damage has been done. It's financial. So yeah, so we're going to be launching this VIP membership thing over the course of the next few days. I'm hoping. I'm waiting actually to hear back from my good friend Rich Westfall. If any of you see him around on Facebook, please message him. And see if we can get him in to the chat. That would be cool. If we could get him into the chat here, that would be great. So he can kind of update me on what the story is. Chris says in Southern California, that cup would be referred to as Bitchin. Yes, absolutely. It most certainly is. It's amazing. I did have a little sort of white and silver one, but it had this weird little lid that, well, it just actually made it really hard to drink out of. I don't know how the heck that got past, testing. So we got 16 people here in the room, and basically that the big announcement really is that my VIP membership thing is coming extremely soon. I have started. I don't know how many of you seen it, but I've started my Studio One from Scratch series, and this coming week I'm going to be starting the other new series that I told you I was going to be starting, which is a mixing series. We are going to be mixing my song Paper Deity from my EP in 2016. I can't say it's last year anymore because it's 2016. So yeah, we're going to be mixing that, and I'm going to make the stems available for you guys to mix that. And so that's coming up in the next, hopefully this week. But yeah, there's just a couple of things I need to fix with that, because I need to fix a few things with that to make sure that it's all going to work. So I need to basically have a place where you guys can get access to the stems that's nice and secure. So I'm going to do that. And I need to make a secure way in which you guys can go and get the stems. So I'm working on that, and hopefully by the end of this week I'll have that all squared away, and I will announce that as well. I'll do a special video that announces that. So keep an eye on my channel, and you'll get a special video appear that announces that series and how you can get the stems. Just Bob says, music question: how do you marry odd time signature structures together without making it sound bad? That's a good question. And it all comes back to the big overarching thing, which is intent. What is the intent? What are you intending? How can I put this another way without using the word intent or intending again? Why do you want to use odd time signatures? How does using odd time signatures serve the song? One of my big issues with prog rock, certainly the early prog rock, is they would just use odd time signatures because they thought they were cool. And they are cool. Don't get me wrong, playing a song in 7/8 is very cool. It's great fun. Improvising in 7/8 is just as much fun as improvising in 4/4. However, it's the intention behind it that's important. And some of those early, prog rock records where they just did something in 5/4, you're just doing it in 5/4 because, 5/4 is different to 4. 4. It's, you know, it has a different feel to it altogether. But there was no real justification from the song that made that work. So how do you marry different time signatures together? You marry them together by, there's a couple of ways you can do it. And again, it all goes back to, what is the song? What is the song going to communicate at that point? Chris says, what is the point you want to transmit, or the emotion you want to transmit? Exactly. What is it you want to convey? And how will changing the time signature help do that? Because sometimes it will. Like, for example, in there's a Beatles song, and I was going to give you the title of it, and the title's just gone right out of my head. No, I can't remember it. But anyway, the thing about the Beatles was they did make use of odd time signatures occasionally, and they did it for a particular reason, a particular intention. Like, if they wanted to extend a bar, they would do it by adding beats to the bar. So if like, for the most part, the song was in 4, they'd then have like a bar of 7. And the idea was to delay the arrival of beat 1. And, you know, for certain lyrical things, that's what you need to do. Chris says, all you need is love switches from 7/8 to 4/4. It kind of does, yes. Yeah. That does play around with different time signatures. And love, 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 yeah. That definitely plays around with different time signatures. And then, of course, there's lots of popular songs written in other time signatures. Like there's Sting's 7 Days, which is in 5. Ding, 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 ding. 7 days is all she wrote. I better not sing too much of that, because I don't want to get a copyright strike. But yeah, so there's lots of different reasons why you might change a time signature. Bob says, I'm interested in how it gets stitched together without disrupting the flow or the sound. Now, there's different things you can do. You can do something called metric modulation. And this is where you would use similar note values. So let's say your pulse is an 8th note pulse. So if I'm like making the quarter note accented, now if I make it unaccented, I can say that's 3/8, 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 4 4, and so on. So the different, keeping the pulse completely identical and uninterrupted, with the same accenting, means that you can completely go with different 8th note measures without disrupting that flow. So it doesn't have to be kind of all syncopated to make something like 7 or 5 or 9 work. You can break things down into little groups. Here's a good way to do it. If you want to do a song, let's say, that has a bar of 5 or a bar of 7, you can break things into what I call duplets and triplets. And you can still have it flow really, really nicely. So, for example, in 5, you would have 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5. So that's a pair of duplets and a triplet. So you got duplet 1 and then triplet 3 4 5. So 7 is going to be a little bit more. So you're going to have 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3. 9 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Or you could break 9 up as 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3. Okay, so you can break it up like that. So let's say I want to alternate between 5 and 9. No, 5 and 7. Let's do 5 and 7 because that's easier. So I would be going 1 2 I'd be going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. So it's just like how you do your duplets and your triplets. So da 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 1 da 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 like that. So see how those two different sounds start again. Teeth in. See how those two time signatures now do not disrupt the flow. Now, here's the cool thing. Because we're dealing with eighth notes, if I was to take away the second half of the eighth notes, I'd be left with quarter notes. Now, if you guys, for example, now we can't do this because you're over there and I'm over here. You can't, I won't be able to hear you. But if you guys were to clap quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I was to do the 5 and the 7 rhythms, they would eventually catch up. Chris says 5/4 catches up to 4/4 after 5 measures. You're absolutely right. After 5 bars, that's exactly what you get. And that's what we call metric resolution. Woodby says, will your new series show examples of this method? Of what? Time signature stuff? No. Because the two series that I'm doing are Studio One from scratch and Mixing Paper Deity. But I may well do another series later down the line on music theory, where we deal with metric modulation, that kind of stuff. So yeah, so if you guys were to count a regular 4/4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you were to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Eventually, the two would catch up, and you'd get everybody coming down on the same beat 1. Eventually. Miles says, just play it in 4/4 and give me another beer. That's a good point, actually. So, yeah, so that's metric modulation for you. Hope that helps. So we've got 17 people in the room now. If you've not said hello on the chat, then please do. If you've got a question, please get it in the chat, and we can talk some more. Paper Date is a fantastic song title, says Chris. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It gives you a pretty cool idea of what the song is all about. Essentially, that song is all about worship of money. Kinda. And, you know, kind of how money can dominate your life. And, you know, whether you're rich or whether you're not rich, money can totally dominate your life. Bob says, so it's kind of like finding the faster beats within a constant like 4/4. Not faster beats, more a subdivision. So, you know, 4/4, what everybody calls 4/4 is basically 4 quarter notes per bar. So if I was to divide those 4 quarter notes in half, I'd get eighth notes. If I was to divide those eighth notes in half, those 8 eighth notes, I'd get 16 16th notes. If I was to divide each of those 16 16th notes in half, I'd get 32 32nd notes, and so on. So, so basically everything is a subdivision. So if I'm clapping, if I tap on my Studio Live mixer in front of me, I don't know if you can hear this. If I tap a quarter note pulse here, and then this sound here, this is my desk. Actually, I'll do it with a stick. Whoops. Don't know if you can hear that very well. Just move my mouse so I don't smack it. So if I use my mouse to play the 8th note pulse, and I'll use this to play the quarter notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so everything's subdivided. Okay, and I could keep going. If I subdivide those again, those would become 16th notes. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and done. and so on. Okay, and I could keep going up to, 30-second notes, but it's on a desk. It's not very easy to bounce one of these on a desk, so it would get pretty tricky. So basically, a quarter note is here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 8s. Okay, so it's subdivisions. It's not like faster or slower. It's different lengths of measurement within those four quarter notes. Hope that helps, because I mean, not everybody actually understands how rhythm works. They just know instinctively how rhythm works. So they'll play something and they'll go, "Wow, really, really cool, fantastic." Complex rhythmic patterns that you're playing. But not everybody actually really understands how all of that works together. Bob says, so the subdivided notes have to play within a set structure of, for example, the 4 count. That is correct. John asks, are you left-handed? Yes, I am. Deer Creek Audio, good to see you, mate. He says, so how do drummers play 5 with the left hand and quarter note triplets with the right hand and a quarter note kick and a 4 on the floor kick? With a lot of practice. I can do it. It does take a lot of practice. You have to be able to separate your limbs, and particularly if you're going to play 4 quarter notes on the kick drum, you basically want to try and get that to become like an autopilot, something that just happens without you really mentally processing it. And then your hands are then completely free to be independent of your legs. So, for example, if I was to play 1 kick drum beat and then 2 hi-hat beats with my foot on the hi-hat pedal, so I'm be going boom chick chick boom chick chick boom chick chick like that, then I could either play with that and play patterns within those 3 beats, or I could play 4 with my left hand on the ride cymbal, and I could play 5 with my snare drum, and make those 4 different patterns all work together. Bob says thank you. You're welcome, mate. And Deer Creek says I can do one hand or the other, but not both. Yeah, it takes a lot of practice, and eventually you get to separate your limbs out. MJN says somebody asked earlier what stems are. Yes, that was my new friend Sean Aaron Jezrinic Runach. I think Jezrinic. I think that's right. Correct me if I'm wrong. He asked what stems are. Stems are essentially your audio tracks, your audio events that you see on your screen in Studio One. So, for example, I'm going to go and open Studio One, and I can show you better than I can explain it, because if I explain it, you may not understand it. It is entirely possible that you won't understand it. So let's go take a look, and I'm going to do that. Oh, I'm not sharing the screen. That doesn't really help. Let's go do that. Screen share. Oh, come on. Share the screen. Thank you. So this is what the stems are. These events from start to finish of each of the songs. Of each track within the song. So you guys should be able to see this now. This is essentially what stems are. These are consolidated and prepped, so they're ready for me to actually export as a set of stems if I wanted to, for somebody else to mix, which I did actually for the first month of learning to mix. This song was the song that Dave and Pete used, and they interviewed me for their live stream, which is very cool. So this is Chanel from my EP, and essentially all of these were basically cut up into lots of little edits and stuff that I had done. And then what I did was I basically selected all of the cuts in each event with my mouse, and then I did Control B or Command B, and bounced it into one continuous stem like this. So from the start to the end of the audio is one continuous piece. Now you'll see, even here with these two tracks here, the trumpet fall and the sax fall, there's nothing happening until the very end. But I've kept it as one complete stem. The reason being is that when you're mixing, if I send this off for somebody else to mix, if I've got everything lined up at the very beginning here, then when somebody brings these into their session to mix, these little events here will be in exactly the right spot and not kind of, nowhere near where they're supposed to be. And you won't have to spend hours faffing around trying to line everything up. So that's what you do when you create stems. You just consolidate out all of your cuts, all of your edits, until you've got one continuous stem that runs from left to right. Everything is lined up at bar 1, beat 1, subdivision 1 and 0, which is what this is here. This is bar 1, beat 1, 16th note 1, and this is like an even smaller subdivision. All right, and that's what a stem is. So it starts there and it goes all the way to the end. And it's one long event. So if I was to just select one, see, it's one complete event in Studio One. Cool. All right, so I hope that helps. Yeah, Wibby says, very important point, not sliced. Yes, if you send me stuff, if you want me to mix your song, send me stems that look like this. Not all sliced and diced for different things. And Sean says he's got it. That's cool. All right, so I hope that helps. I'm going to minimize Studio One for a minute. And I'm going to say stop staring. There we go. All righty. So you guys have got that. James Hall is here. Hi, James. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. John says, on the stems you displayed, are there any easy ways to do knife cuts like you did on the vocals? Also, something I experienced when I had to reload a track from the pool, I wish I had bounced. Now, here's the thing. Your audio lives in the pool. What you see in the event view is a... how do I say it? Is a particular perspective of that. So when you cut it up, your cuts are not happening in the pool. So I can chop and slice and dice to my heart's content. I can chop any of these events up to my heart's content. But here's the thing. When I go over here to the pool, none of these are going to be affected. Okay, now you see these have got little folder clip, these little kind of folder clip symbols here. That basically means that these are comps of different takes. My BVs had, I don't know, half a dozen takes on, because I was basically singing against myself, and singing against yourself is hard. So, there are a few different takes, and that's what you can see there. So this BV track here, this is a consolidation of all of these little takes here that I comped together. And the same for the drums, the Fender Rhodes, I did in one take, and the bass I did in, did I do it in 2 takes? Yes, I did it in 2 takes. Lead vocal I did in 3 takes. But yeah, so your audio lives right here on the pool, and nothing happens to it until you bounce it. When you bounce it in place, then the audio file in the pool changes. But when you first get your audio file and you start, you record your first thing. In fact, let's just create a new song. Stuff it. Let's just do a new song. So normally it starts off like this. And let's say I add a track, which I'm not going to call fretless bass. I'm going to call this VO. I didn't want to do 4 of them. Doesn't matter. So I've done 4 by mistake. That's okay. But let's say I record. I'm going to turn monitoring off because, well, we don't need monitoring on. But let's say I hit the record button and I start talking and I keep talking until I get to, let's say, the number 6. Here we go. And there. All right. So now I've got a recording in the pool. Okay, so sorry, I was just having a quick look at the chat there. So my audio is now in the pool. So let's say I decide I like this bit here, but I want to cut it there, and I want to cut it there, and I want to cut it there, and I want to cut it there. See, nothing is really happening to this event here, is it? It's nothing's really happening in the pool here. So I can now take this, I can drop that, I can do this, I can raise that one, I can pull that one down, and I can raise that one, and I can do that, and I can do a fade out at the end. Done. All right. But none of this has affected this track here. Okay. If I was to grab this pool event here and pull it in, it's exactly identical to this one here, and it's untouched. It's unaffected because this is my original recording. This is my event of that recording, and I can edit this without destroying this. So if you make a mistake with all your edits and you don't like it, well, you know, you can just delete and you can pull the original event right in off the pool, like I just did right there. Okay, so I hope that helps. So let's say I delete, if I just Control Z all of that. So I've now got rid of all of that. Let's say I really didn't like that at all. I really didn't like what I just recorded at all. That's fine. But notice I've deleted everything there, and this original track remains. So let's say I decide to record again. Oh, hang on. It started. I didn't want that. But that was interesting. Did you see that? VO1, number 2, take 2, started, and it started over here. Let's say we really, really are not going to use that one. I'm going to remove that permanently. Do I want to? Yes, I do want to, in that particular case. All right, so let's say I go back to the beginning and I record another take, and I keep talking, and I keep talking, and I keep talking again and again and again. I keep talking again until I get to there. And now I stop. So it's a different take altogether from the first one. But let's say I've got, if I pull this one down onto that track and I put this back. So there's my original take. There's my second take. But let's say I had chopped this one to death. You know, I'd gone cut a few different places like that, and I'd gone and messed the whole thing up. I was just like, okay, let's just do another take. I'm not happy with all of my edits. Let's do another take. So I do another take on a separate track, and I've just done that. And you know what? I prefer the first one, but the trouble is I've gone and chopped it all up now. Well, that's not a problem. It really isn't. Watch this. I can select all of that. I can say go bye-bye. And I can grab my original track. And I can solo it. I can play it. 6. Here we go. Record button. And I start talking. And I keep talking until I get to, let's say, the number 6. Here we go. All right. So it's completely non-destructive. Any editing you do here is completely non-destructive to your original files in the pool. So I hope that's helped. Let's go back and have a look at the chat. I think Chris asked if plugins are saved with the stems. I don't think they are unless you bounce a track. I think if you bounce a track, then I think it prints whatever plugins you have on that track to the event. I think that's what happens. I'm pretty sure that's the case. Bob says, Chris, the plugins are separate unless you bounce the track and create a new track which records the plugins, but you can't change the plugins because they are printed to the track. Yeah, once you've bounced with the plugins in place, then yes, that is correct. In that case, it is destructive to the audio, and you cannot retrieve after that. Chris says I was watching full screen. That's cool. Sean says my last name is hard to pronounce. It's okay. Yeah, well, you know what? So's mine. You wouldn't believe the number of people when I say, when they ask me what my name is, and I say it's Jonny Lipsham, and they're just like, "Oh, how do you spell Lipsham? How do you say Lipsham? What's your last name again? How do you say it?" It's Lipsham. Lipsham. It kind of like you squash it together. Lipsham. How do you spell that? And it's just like you get a whole gamut of variations of spelling. And, people are just like, "Oh, it's an interesting name. Where's that come from?" I'm just like, it's Jewish. It's one of those Jewish surnames. It comes from Lipman. That's where the name originally comes from. So it's probably originally from somewhere in Eastern Europe. Is where Lipsham probably comes from. The same where Lipton, Lipman, Litman, they're all part of the same kind of thing, all the same kind of name. And they probably all come from Poland, Czechoslovakia, places like that. So, yeah, I hope that helped. Chris says, couldn't you also merge all those cuts rather than dragging them to the pool? Say you have a shortened event you like, then want to eliminate the cuts. You could merge. Here's the thing with merging, and I think Jonny has covered this in one of his videos. Let's take this one. Let's say we cut this one to death, and we make some changes. Let's say here, this one we make that one. Let's say we make this one louder. This one we make really, really, really quiet, and this one we make really, really, really loud. All right, let's say we like all of that. Well, yes, we could merge the events. So I right click, I go to events, and I could do merge events. Now, the trouble is it's locked. So let's say when I get to mixing and I've got a whole bunch of other tracks that go with this, and I suddenly realize, you know what, this bit here, I made it loud, but now it's too loud. Well, guess what? There's no gain handles. I cannot do anything with it. If I cut it again, no, still no gain handles. Oh, well, I'm stuck now. Well, yeah, you kind of are if you merge. If you merge the event, you're kind of stuck. So the thing really to do is not merge audio. You can do that with MIDI, but I would never suggest you do that with audio. What I would do is I would do Control B. That preserves all of my edits here, preserves all of that, and the good thing is I've got my gain handle back. And if I've decided that ultimately this bit here is too loud, I can always recut it and pull it back. And it's fine. So I hope that helps. James says, I came in late. Did I miss an announcement? Yes, you did. I'm announcing that, and I've kind of been talking about it off and on over the last few weeks. So it's no major big earthquake announcement. But I am launching a VIP membership, part of Jonny Lipsham Studios. And I talked about what you're going to get, which I can just quickly show you again. Actually, I can't show you because... No, I can. I still got it open. Here it is. So I'll quickly go over it again. So for £12 per month, which Frank told me is $17 per month, you get all of these. You get a monthly Google Hangout coaching call, which is to do with dealing with your particular problems, your particular issues, or particular things you want to focus on for learning. And then we together, as a little private group on our little private Google Hangout that nobody else can attend, we can all work together on those things. You will also get a 30-minute one-to-one session where I can talk literally just to you for 30 minutes, and we can go over a particular issue that you've got, or a particular thing that you want to focus on, that you want to learn, or something you need help with, and you think that a 30-minute session might just fix that. Then we can do that. Every month we'll have a mix critique session, which will be on a private live stream, and it'll be first come, first served. So you get your mixes in quick, and I'll pick 5 mixes at more or less random. Not more or less random. I'll pick 5 out of the mixes that I get. And if your mix doesn't get done in that month, then send it in again the following month, and it may get done at that point instead. But the thing is that we will, again, this will be done on a live stream, so that all of us will get to hear your mixes, and I will give my thoughts and my feelings on your particular mix, and then together as a group we can all share our thoughts and feelings about the particular mix. The aim being that we all kind of help each other, that we all help steer each other towards improving our mixes and making our mixes that much better. And the next thing is private VIP Facebook lounge. Yes, I'm going to make a Facebook group that is entirely private. In fact, it will be secret. It won't just be private. It won't just be a closed group. It will be a secret group, so that nobody can even search for it. And there'll be a private link in the VIP forum, which is the other thing that's coming, by the way. The VIP forum, all the private links to everything, to the coaching calls, to the mixed critique sessions, and the Facebook group. Those links will be in the VIP forum. So you will have to be a paid up member with a profile to be able to get access to those links. And then you can become a member of the Facebook group, and we'll do live Q&As there, and you can put your mixes there as well, and you can all discuss among yourselves about your mixes, and we will do live Q&As there as well regularly. You also get discounts on all my products and services. So anything I make, past, present, and future, you'll get a discount. Any of my mixing, mastering, and recording services, you'll also get a discount at, and also my session musician service if you want me to record with you. Be that bass guitar, backing vocals, Hammond B3, Fender Rhodes, piano. If you want me to do horn arranging, string arranging, all of that, you'll get discounts for all of those. You'll also get pre-release access to any tutorial products that I make. So you'll get basically heads up notice of when something is going to be launched, and you'll be able to purchase in advance, or kind of put your name in the hat that you are wanting this, and you'll be able to get access to it before it goes on general release, and you'll get it for a discount again. And VIP only tutorials, which will be more in depth than my tutorials that go on my YouTube channel, and also tutorial products that I make for general release. You guys will get basically exclusive content. So there, I hope that catches you up there. So I'm going to stop sharing screens now, and I'm going to go back over here. Do I have a firm launch date? Not quite yet. We've got a couple of teething problems with the VIP lounge that we're just trying to get squared away. But I was hoping that we'd be able to launch it kind of like at the beginning of the month. but it's going to be maybe just a little bit after then. But I will do a launch video that gives everybody an exact date when it's coming. Woodbeast, no Facebook. How will we connect? No Skype here. Woodbeast says, sadly, I do not use Facebook. Yeah. Woodbeast, I'm sorry about that, mate. But you know, the Facebook lounge there is for those that are on Facebook that want to get together, hang out together. You can do that. I'm going to provide that place. If you're not on Facebook, it's not a problem. Not a problem at all. And no Skype here. Yeah, again, that's these are things that are available to you. You don't have to have all of them. You don't have to, you know, you don't have to do Skype calls. You don't have to do the whole Facebook thing. Not everybody's on Facebook. I get that. And that's fine. Let's see. Chris says, may I email you an MP3? I added a string section to a Pink Floyd song. It sounds like a child mixed it. Yeah, go ahead, Chris. Email it to johnny@jonnylipshamstudios.co.uk. And Mike says, thanks again, Johnny. Got to go. See you on the web. Yeah, well, you know what? On that note, it's 10 minutes after 1, and I've got a few things that I need to get done before I go to bed, and I have a very early start in the morning. So I'm going to have to rock and roll as well. But like I said, the whole VIP thing is coming. We've got it all put together. We're just putting the finishing touches to it now. And so it's going to be just a case of a few more days, and hopefully we will have this ready to go. And I will do, like I said, I'll do an announcement video. Maybe I will do a special one-off live stream. And I can show you the Facebook group, and I can show you the VIP area in the website. Woodbeast says he has a question first before I go. Okay, Woodbeast, shoot your question, dude. And John says good night. And Bob says, looking forward to talking to you, Woodbeast. Yeah, that's cool. And Frank says, take care. Yeah, we'll stay on air just for a little bit longer so that Woodbeast can ask his question. And this will be the last one of the night. JL, may I ask, he says. Okay. Just Bob, the joke you told about the guys walking into a bar, were they from Scotland or Chicago? The guy that ducked was from Washington, D.C. Did I may have missed that joke, actually. I may have missed it at the start. Chris says, thank you for your time tonight. I'm excited and congratulations. Good luck on your new endeavor. Thank you very much, Chris. And yeah, I hope to get as many people signed up as possible. I will be promoting the living daylights out of this, guys. So if you get fed up with me talking about it, then I'm very sorry. But yeah, I need to make sure that I get this out to as many people as I can, and I get as many people subscribed as possible. I have a target. I have a couple of targets, actually. My first target is I'd like to get to 50 paid up subscribers. And then by the end of this year, so by, you know, kind of the week after Christmas, I'd like to have 100 subscribers. So that's kind of where I'm heading for. And hopefully we'll get there with a lot of promotion. I thought JL wrote that joke. No, I didn't post any jokes, I don't think, in the chat tonight. Sean Aaron says I'm in. That's great. Thanks, mate. As soon as it drops, as I say, I'll probably do a special one-off live stream. At the very least, I'll do an announcement video, and you'll get to see everything. So yeah, so keep an eye on my YouTube channel, guys, and keep an eye on if you're on Facebook, keep an eye on the Facebook page. Go and, if you're not a member of that already, go and like it or join it or whatever you do. It's just search for Jonny Lipsham Studios and the page should come up, and you can just sign up there. That would be awesome. And I don't think there's anything else going on in the chat there. Apart from you guys are talking about living across from St. Louis. Chris says, I'll keep an eyeball peeled. Okay, well, you know what? Peeling eyeballs is probably quite bad for your eyes. And probably quite messy as well. And I'm sure it'll bring you to tears. All right, guys. I'm going to leave it there. And I will see you guys probably on the Songwriting Simplified podcast with Jonny Gibe on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central. And I'm sure I will be out and about around the web, around YouTube and Facebook. So I'll see you guys then. If you've got any burning questions that you didn't get the chance to ask tonight, email me, johnny@johnnylipshamstudios.co.uk, and I'll see if I can answer your question. All right, folks, a very, very good night to everybody. Good night.